Lodi. 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 Hello out there world. Hello Mongoose conservation friends. Welcome to Mongoose Magic Moments pre-sunset on this scorcher of an oven of a day, which is easily over 42 degrees centigrade in the Meerkat Magic Valley Reserve of the Meerkat Magic Conservation Project. I have been up since 3 o'clock this morning. I have uploaded many streams and short videos and even a early morning pre-dawn bird chorus for you. You can check all of that out on the channel in the different playlists. It's also the Meerkatman, the Mongoose man, Grant Malcolm McIlrath here. And this is another live stream for those out there in the world who managed to catch it and see a wild yellow mongoose who's right here at the Meerkatmanchen research base, aka the Mongoose Mansion research base, according to our film star, world famous film star, never mind Hollywood, they've got nothing on her. This is Ghakhulu Cucciolina Cenerentola from the TSEBOKOLODI yellow mongoose group, the dominant female. And she's been very sensible on this extremely hot and now very windy late afternoon. Going into the shade here, just outside the house. Hello out there. Welcome to the stream. Please drop a comment and let me know where you are watching from. You're watching the world famous Ghakhulu Cucciolina yellow mongoose, Cenictus penicillata, as she goes about her pre-sunset foraging expeditions. A big shout out to Alessia Torchini from Italy and her daughter Asia Chile, who has made it possible. Thank you for your sponsorships. Greatly appreciated all the support, and I do very much appreciate you for everything you do for the Meerkat Magic Conservation Project, the Meerkat Magic Valley Reserve, and of course here are some of the artificial pipes that we have put in, and you can see they are being used. Meerkats and various mongoose species and lots of different rodents and reptiles are using these already. They are all over the property. And what these do is act as the equivalent of a coral reef, where boats would be sunk or structures underwater, which allow animals to move into an area and colonize it, where areas have been destroyed. The same is true here. We have introduced pipes along with the Suricati Association in Italy, and you can find their details on Facebook and also in the comments of my videos. All right, Ghakhulu is just underneath this pepper tree. Incidentally, this is a Californian pepper tree. For those who follow the streams, you'll know this very well, since Ghakhulu has a routine on most days that she goes to visit different places. Now, of course, she doesn't make it easy for me to follow along, or for you, but that's, of course, what it's like to be a wildlife research biologist. You need to go where the wildlife goes, not where you feel like going. All right, so she has come around, and she's busy foraging underneath some of the trees. She's very sensible because she's always looking for protection. There's a constant vigilance going on here from her. And here you can see she's going into another wildlife burrow system that we have her using. There's a very large chamber here, pipes, and another large chamber, and then all the way across there. You can actually find out more about this. We have separate playlists about the artificial burrows. If you'd like to help, you can come and visit the reserve, and you can also sponsor various tunnels yourself. We will be putting them throughout the area where there used to be burrows, but burrowing animals don't have time to dig up their own holes when it comes to escaping from predators, so they simply abandon an area that has been farmed intensively. So unfortunately, great areas of the Little Karoo, where I am in now, and various other areas are completely devoid of holes in the ground. It may seem very strange, but it's true. The digging animals no longer live there, and they are the pioneer mammals which are absolutely critical for a healthy ecosystem. They are basically the ones who dig nature's stormwater gutter sluices, which allow water to go into the ground rapidly without causing flooding or runoff erosion. All right, now this is a very large tunnel system, and in fact it's just a matter of being patient, and she could pop up at any of these entrances or exits here. The tunnels have also been constructed so that they are at a slight incline, so water doesn't go up into the chambers, and they are also insulated. Over time, I'm hoping that the vegetation here will gradually recolonize the area. All of this that you can see around the Meerkatmanchen research base is going to be a water feature in time, just a shallow one, as it is. Wildlife drink from this little section I have dug out over the years for them, because before it was just barren ground, which is basically as hard as cement or concrete. I'll demonstrate. If you have a look here, solid. So I have built this earthen wall, an eco wall as I call it, over many years through manual labor, what I like to call applied gym, outdoor gym, power with purpose. Unfortunately, we've had a severe drought this year, and all the beautiful green reeds that usually grow here have withered and mostly died out. But basically, they are dormant. So once they start regrowing again, it will create lovely shade here. The birds come and sit on the reeds, and then they bring all sorts of delicious nutrients into the area, which go down the reeds into the soil. And then, of course, the entire area becomes more and more fertile. Ghakhulu is making me work extra hard today now that she's just gone in the pipe. But this is a very good sign, because it means she trusts the pipes, and of course they're lovely and insulated. So just like the burrow systems, the wildlife hotels, you can find out more about that. You'll find that the animals are very comfortable. 10 degrees warmer underneath the ground than it is on the surface in winter on average, and about 10 degrees cooler beneath the ground than the surface in summer. And then the temperatures here can reach over 50 degrees centigrade, everybody. It's indeed on the way there. Usually January and February are our hottest months. I hope you all had a great festive season, for those who celebrated, incidentally, and that you're all well, wherever you might be in the world. For those of you who have already seen my videos from this morning, from 3 o'clock, I've been busy uploading them all, and they are done, they are live. Thank you to everyone as well for your support on the channel, your likes and subscribes and shares and joins and everything else, because we have reached over 1.8 million views, which would not be possible without all of you. So thank you so much for that. You're greatly appreciated. Well, we'll give her a few more moments, and if she decides not to come out because she's had a nice forage today, then I will end the stream and we'll wait for her to be more active. Of course, my greatest hope is that more animals actually colonize the area from these burrows and move out and have enough time at their leisure where they can actually dig up new burrow systems. As I mentioned, these are colonies. So it's a starting point for them to get into an area where they used to occur, but now simply can't stay there because they don't have the time to dig holes. You might wonder, how is that possible? Surely digging animals can dig holes. Yes, and even though meerkats dig thousands of holes every day and move many kilometers on average every day, and mongooses dig a great deal of holes as well, certainly in this area, where we have the Cape Grey mongoose, and we have the water mongoose and the large grey, the Egyptian mongoose, yeah, the yellow mongoose. They're all busy digging. But wildlife hotels could be hundreds and hundreds of years old, even thousands of years. The unbroken line of meerkat females, it's matrilinear and matriarchal. They pass down the burrow systems from one generation to the next. So when somebody goes into an area and destroys holes in the ground, they could be destroying the animals that will go into the holes for shelter. And of course, they could also be destroying many generations of different animals that have inherited territory. Just keep an eye out over here because I can see this tunnel entrance nicely. That's the one she went in. Usually she spends a few minutes just investigating the area and scent marking it, and then she comes out. This is going to be a live stream about a pipe. For those who are just joining the live stream now, you might be wondering, where is the mongoose that I was telling you about? If you go back and watch the live stream once it is processed by YouTube, you will certainly see where the mongoose is. For those who watched the live stream on the Ungulungu Meerkats and Meerkat Magic Moments a few days ago, of course, you were part of making history for wildlife video streaming. It's the very first time ever that wild meerkats of this subspecies have been filmed in the reserve on live stream technology. So I'm very excited about that, and hopefully we'll be doing that a lot more frequently. At the moment, I'm using an enormous antenna up on the Meerkat mansion. You can see it there. A shout out to South Cape Wireless, Chris and Hugo. Thank you so much for your excellent service. I always like to appreciate people. We're all part of a team. I'm making contact calls as usual, just to let her know if she does come out of one of these entrances, not to be at all disturbed. I have, of course, been following this film star since she was born in November 2018, and her main group since 2008. It's a long time. Of course, the Ungulungu Meerkats, as those who follow my work will know, are incredibly famous. You may have seen them in the BMW International film. Meerkats are in the film with the mongooses. I filmed that in 2010, but I've been following that Meerkat group since 2001. BBC film, National Geographic Discovery Channel with Nigel Marven. Yeah, it's a lot of history with these beautiful animals. Right, we'll head off to the water feature for a few moments. I'm just going to keep scanning around to see if she pops out. It is quite interesting that she's spending such a long time in the sleeping area already. Perhaps she'll spend her first night there. You can see even the birds here know me well. They'll allow me to get within a few meters of them. They're of course wild. Everything here is wild, but we're all part of the neighborhood watch. I'd also like to say hello to you out there, my friend Eugene Fourie. I call him the bee man, Klein Karoo honey, Klein Karoo hienang. He has the best raw honey supplies anywhere in South Africa, easily, possibly even in the world, because they're directly from the reserve, and we don't use any chemicals of any sort here. It's all organic, wildlife friendly. Yeah, he has many bee hotels, as I like to call them, all around the property. And those are some of the bee children, as I call them as well. Just having a little water top up before they head off to sleep. In fact, way off in the distance towards the Great Black Mountain Range to the north is a hotel system. You might be able to just see it peeking out of the trees there, those boxes. And yes, you might wonder, what are they doing up on a pole? These are badger-friendly bee hotels, everybody. I'll just tell you a bit about that quickly while we wait for any other action to happen from TSEBOKOLODI group, dominant female. The honey badger, Mellivora capensis. Yes, they are very much able to move through this area without any conflicts from the landowners, and that is why it is bee-friendly and badger-friendly honey production, because the badgers do not in fact destroy the hives, and so the landowners and the beekeepers don't destroy the badgers. So it's coexistence, and that's what our conservation through education is all about. We like to let people know, live in harmony together with nature, because we're all part of nature. Even though I'm a professional nature conservationist, we're all on the same rock together until Elon Musk or somebody else changes that in the not too distant future. Perhaps we'll be doing a live stream from Mars. Who knows what can happen? But I can assure you now, you won't have this kind of species diversity. Yeah, so it's about appreciating what we've got. I like to say having an attitude of gratitude. And incidentally, if you're enjoying just hearing some of my thoughts as I ramble on, waiting to see what happens as a wildlife researcher, you can't predict what is going to happen next. That's why I call these unedited wildlife documentaries. In this case, it's an unedited wildlife tube system documentary, with the mongoose staying inside the tubes at the moment, which is very good news. I'm very happy that she's enjoying the tube so much. When I first put them in with Alessia Torquini and Asia Chile, the very next day we already saw the mongooses coming to visit and started to scent mark the area. There has been some conflict though. They're getting territorial about whose hotel this is, because of course it's prime real estate. Chap chap. TSEBOKOLODI. Tiki 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 tick. There are various sounds that she recognizes. Tiki 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 tick. That is a sound that Alessia Torquini came up with, which has now been implemented. She has visited the reserve twice already, along with Asia Chile, who visited here as well. I'm very appreciative of that visit. Thank you again. All right, let's move on. Going to go up over the rise here just to see who else might be around, because we are not that far away from an undisclosed location of a wildlife hotel, the Ungulungu Meerkats. And of course, Nuvolino is another film star, the dominant male of the TSEBOKOLODI yellow mongoose group. Yeah, let's just have a look over here. Incidentally, you're welcome to let me know if you'd like to visit. I offer camping around the reserve. You can choose your own location going down to the river if you prefer. There are many beautiful secluded areas around the property. We like to live a basic lifestyle out here, so there's nothing fancy. No 5-star hotels except for the wildlife hotels, which will... Oh, look at that. She has come out from the other side of the burrows. Wow, that is brilliant. I'm very impressed. She has actually gone right round through all the systems here, and there she is now. All right, just as well I went looking over there. Even though I was filming the entire time, she managed to go around there and come out these different pipe systems. She's worked out a brilliant network. All right, I'm happy to tell everybody we're back on. Yeah, thanks for those likes, by the way. Please do subscribe. Join the channel if you'd like to support our conservation work on wild meerkats and mongooses. Yeah. Come out and have a barbecue with us. We do it atavistic style here. A fire pit. None of these fancy indoor fireplaces or anything like that. We like to keep it very wild and old school, so you feel connected with nature. Oh, that's a into the shade. She's also clearly enjoying the break from light. For those who are just joining us now, you're watching live Mongoose Magic Moments from South Africa, Latergansvlei, Oudtshoorn and Western Cape. Yes, in the Meerkat Magic Valley Reserve of the Meerkat Magic Conservation Project, home of the Stondojo Gym. Yeah, hand built by myself over many, many years. You can come out and visit it. You can also see it on a map. Just Google it. Stondojo. It's world famous. Yeah, first of its kind in the world as well, incidentally. All right, so we are off now to the next part of the territory. Let's see what happens. Anything can happen on an unedited wildlife documentary. Anything can happen. All right. Very, very tricky to see her even in this light. Yeah, that's what the white tail is for, everybody. The white tail for Synictis peniculata is very characteristic. Even the Botswana version of the yellow mongoose is actually grey, but it has the white tip to the tail. So unlike the meerkats with the black tip, hello out there everyone, thanks for joining, welcome. You're watching the world famous film star. Forget Hollywood, that's old news. This is the real deal. This is unedited, no post-scripting. We're watching wildlife film stars here, and if you'd like to see more, remember to join, hit a like, smash the like button, thank you. All right, here we are right next to Ghakhulu Cucciolina. Now, where is she going? I hope our Wi-Fi signal holds. We've got quite a nice footprint in the area, but she's got very secretive roots. In fact, I haven't seen her use this one for a few weeks, so hopefully she'll find some very interesting creatures here. Of course, their sense of smell is phenomenal, like the meerkats. They can smell food under the ground easily, deeper than 2 meters. All right, she's busy sniffing the area. Somebody else has been here. That's what I call smellogram. An SSMS, everybody. Yes, Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk, technocrats. You're all behind the game. Wildlife has been doing this for thousands upon thousands of years with smell technology. Yeah, they post messages, they receive messages, they check mail every day. That was the smell bulletin board right there. All right, and she's heading off. There she is. All right, I'd like to tell you that this is also where the now world famous Najanivia Cape Cobra snake, we put our channel on the map with Google and went viral in a day, over 1.2 million views. You can check it out on my channel. It's still climbing. And yeah, that snake was right here. You might actually recognize this location. It's one of the water features just past the Meerkat mansion. It's difficult to imagine how far we've walked already. It goes by quickly when you're following wildlife. All right, let's see where she's headed now. For those who watch my most recent live stream, you will recognize this location. Oh, there she is. Wow, she's picking up a lot of speed. Things to do, messages to post, social media. All right, there she goes. Now I know just up ahead, the signal will cut out. Yeah, unfortunately. So let's stay here and see if I can finish the stream from up here. I can just see her. There she is. Yeah, you never know what you're going to see. I might post these every day depending on how popular they are, how many likes I get and subs. Of course, that's a good motivation. All right, but let's just have a look around. That's part of the Meerkat Magic Riverine Reserve. Beautiful reserve swimming pool there. If you visit the Stone Dojo or the Meerkat Mansion accommodation, you can actually go swimming there. Yeah. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. These are all big indigenous thorn trees. We have another location for Eugene Ferrie's beehives in this area. And then we also have the reserve olive trees. Yeah, organic, wildlife friendly produce. You can also check that out on my channel. There are lots of playlists, over 1,300 videos to go and explore. Yeah. I'm going to wait here for now because she hasn't moved on. She's in fact just in this little dip, but it's a dead zone for the Wi-Fi, unfortunately. So I'm rather going to wait here and we can have a little view of the valley. While we're here, I'm going to tell you more about what we are actually seeing. That's just not a rise over there and nothing else. That is in fact an ancient riverbank. Yeah, that's the far side of the reserve. That riverbank system up there. For those of you who have visited me, and many have, you will know this well. But past the dojo, way off into the distance, hello out there. There, that is the other riverbank. Can you even grasp how massive this system is? And this is why the digging or the fossorial animals in this area have come here, because of all the alluvial deposits. Kaolinite clay, kelpcrete, it's the perfect substrate to make burrows in because the burrows do not collapse. These animals are highly restricted in where they can occur because they cannot make burrows, holes in the ground in rocky, stony soils. And that is why these areas are so endangered, because they are also the perfect alluvial soils for farming and have been for hundreds of years, and that is why there are very few of them left intact, and that is why Alessia Torchini and Asia Chile and Suricate Association of Italy are working together in an international collaboration to do something unique in the world for the first time, and we've already implemented it, to create artificial burrow systems all around the property to have a network of hiding places for all the digging mammals to come back to and use. And of course, then they can recolonize the area, as I've mentioned to viewers who've been watching for a while. Again, thank you for your likes out there. I do appreciate it. Please drop a comment. I see there are some comments here. All right, let's see where you are from. Rufina Balban. Hi. Hello, Rufina. Bana Beza. Hi. Hello to you as well. Thank you for joining the stream. Yeah. Now. The sounds I make actually mask the crunching sounds of the twigs in the area, because I don't want animals to become accustomed to those sounds, because predators can make those sounds as well. So I'm just letting them know where I am at all times, so I don't give them a surprise. I'm just the same object that they're used to seeing over many, many years, and that's how I intend to keep it. Surprises are never good when you're watching wildlife, just incidentally. There she is. There she is. Haha. As I suspected, she's just in one of the pipe systems here underneath this access road. This is in fact what I call a wildlife highway. You can also check that on my channel if you do a search for it. Going all the way along here to the Dojo Dam. You can see the water feature there as well. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. And these wildlife highways stretch for many, many kilometers through the reserve and up to different hidden locations. Many animals move through them, including porcupine, ant bear, aardwolf, bat-eared foxes, cape foxes, the steenbok, the grey duiker, the kudu, the bush pig, scrub hare, cape hare, all the mongoose species I mentioned already, but for those who've joined the stream, the Egyptian mongoose, the water mongoose, the large grey mongoose is Herpestes ichneumon, commonly known as the Egyptian mongoose. They are very rare to see, but they are here. Cape clawless otter, Aeonyx capensis. They are a sign of a very healthy ecosystem, and they occur in the reserve river. Ah, there you are. Just letting her know. I see her. Hello, hello. Hello from California. Yes, welcome, welcome. I was just telling everyone about the Californian pepper tree earlier. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. The text is very small on my device. Juan Cox, C-O-X. We've got Beza here, Cox from California. Yesterday we had some people from Indonesia watching. So, big welcome to you all. Welcome to the stream. Please do like and subscribe. Join the channel. You might wonder what is going on. What are we actually looking at? And this is where secretive wildlife are usually never seen by humans. And there's one right there. Can you see her yet? Look carefully. Look for the white tip of the tail. Our friends in California. Yeah. You can also check out my Facebook pages and follow if you like. There's also a free to join group there. Meerkat Magic Moments and of course Mongoose Magic Moments. Yeah, right now, TSEBOKOLODI. Where are you? Chop chop. Diggy 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 dig. She's just resting in the shade. You might not believe that it is over 38 degrees centigrade now, and it's already past 5 o'clock. Yeah, let's have a look down towards the beautiful fields of the reserve. There you can see we've got some sprayers on right now. Big shout out to Heervelkor, Hendrik Kotzer. We have been working together for over 10 years. He is one of my most important sponsors of my conservation work. A professional farmer, and I'm a professional nature conservationist, and it just goes to show how you can work together. I work with the entire community, Team Shongololo. Any of you out there watching, remember to like and comment. These are many of the local children, over 40 of them, that live in the area around the reserve and have been visiting here for the last 15 plus years. I established this reserve in 2008. Oh, I'd very much like to get closer here. Oh, it's just a difficult angle. There you are. Can you see? Let's... Oh, all right. There you are. Let's zoom in there. Of course, you can have a look at the post I did earlier today, where she has been most cooperative and sitting outside a tree by the house. There she is. Can you see her? Incredibly well camouflaged. She is the most famous yellow mongoose in the world, everybody. I'm not even making that up. It's a fact. You can Google search her name. And TSEBOKOLODI yellow mongoose group. You will find an unbelievable amount of information about her. She's on X, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all over Facebook, on Reels, and of course, in other areas too, including BMW International, who filmed the 2 Meerkat mobiles back in 2010. And she was seen in the Super Bowl, and you know that is watched by millions of viewers from around the world. Our Californian viewer, if you're still there, maybe you saw that, because it was called BMW Unscripted Grant. And there were 5 different films of 5 different BMW owners around the world, and only 5. And my BMWs were scent marked by wild mongooses and wild meerkats. There, she's just come out of one of our tunnel systems. Lovely. Alright, she's encroaching on another mongoose territory now. This is very, very dangerous. She's already had a big fight. For those who watched that recent short video I uploaded, you will have noticed she has lost her 2 lower canines, her bottom teeth and her incisors, from a fight with a rival female, Alberina, who lives with the dominant male of the TSEBOKOLODI group, hundreds of meters from here, but this is all part of their territory. She's heading off into their territory now. I have not seen her use this route for many weeks now. It's very dangerous to go off into another mongoose territory like this. Thanks for all the likes, everyone. I do appreciate it. Just adds to the motivation. In the past, I've taken thousands and thousands of guests from all over the world to see the Ungulungu meerkats, and of course many have seen the TSEBOKOLODI yellow mongoose with me as well, but I prefer to do live streams because then you can see the unedited wildlife documentary. Wow, she's on a mission, a mongoose mission. I used to say meerkat marathons, when the meerkats would wake up and just start running off and travel a few kilometers before settling down to an area because they just had a fight with another meerkat group. All right, she's actually scent marking. Can you see that? She's stopped. I can tell you she's scent marking because she's bent her tail. When it bends upwards like that, she's scent marking the area. So that's another bit of smellogram technology. The bulletin board. You may have been checking social media. She's posting social media right now. And I can guarantee when Nuvolina and Alberina, the 2 yellow mongoose from a rival group, come past here, probably in the next few days, they will overmark that scent message and leave another message. You can imagine what they'll be telling her. Yeah. Let me know what you think in the comments. All right. There's a war going on right here with wildlife every day, everybody. You may see the Ungulungu meerkats and think, oh, look how everything is so relaxed. Nothing is relaxed. Nothing, nothing, nothing. These are the hunted hunters, as I call them in my Meerkats book from 2000. and 16. And the same with the mongooses. They are always hunting and they are always being hunted, and everything is trying to make a living off everything else. Yeah. All right, I'm going to stay here for now. This is the dead zone of the Wi-Fi if I go beyond this point. Yeah, just over there, a few meters away, the signal will cut out. For those who've just joined the stream, big welcome to you. There's the antenna up on the roof. Where is that place? Yes, that's a good question. Where is this place? This is a private reserve in South Africa around the town of Oudtshoorn-Lategansvlei. You can Google map search, however, the Stone Dojo Gym. Stonedojo. You can check my channel. It's a world famous gym. It's an outdoor gym. And of course there's an indoor gym section to it as well. Alright, I can see her down there. But I don't have a 300mm zoom lens with me at the moment. So we're just going to try and zoom in. Maybe you'll pick up on the movements. Yeah, the Meerkatmagic Valley Reserve is a private reserve. However, I do take various sponsors out, VIPs. We've had ambassadors and all sorts of unusual and interesting visitors come to visit us over the years. If you would like to visit, check out the comment sections on many of my videos, and you can find out more details there. It's very, very exclusive. I don't like to crowd any animals. I've done many films and had big cameras and other apparatus around. I prefer just doing the streams myself now. Yeah. All right, she's actually coming back. She's picked up on somebody else's smellogram. Just letting her know, it's still me standing here, not some other human. Nobody else can get anywhere near these animals, just by the way. They know me very well. They know my sounds. They know my signals. This is a world famous signal here. I've used it with chimpanzee as well. Kibale Rainforest, Uganda, back in '97 incidentally, with the banded mongooses as well in Queen Elizabeth Park, Uganda. Mongoose are the most sociable mongooses on the planet. Look at that. The spot shifted. Yeah. Got too close to the abyss, the internet abyss. Yeah. Sorry about that. That is unfortunately what we hope to avoid happening. There she is. All right, we can see her. Yeah, let's zoom in there. I have to look carefully. All right, there you go. There she is. You see the shiny section of her hair. That's all you have as a clue of where she is. As a wildlife research biologist, you learn to recognize shapes, even tiny shapes from hundreds and hundreds of meters away. All right, we can go a bit closer. I'll keep an eye on the signal. Right, so what we are hoping to do over this month, South Cape Wireless, I hope you see this, Hugo and Chris, my ISP, yeah, we are wanting to get wireless hotspots all around the reserve, which is a huge area. And then I will be able to even take you on live stream explorations into the riverine jungle. Yeah, that is a wild area for sure. You can get lost there and feel like you are somewhere off in South America. I promise you now, that is a very, very, very wild place. And that's beautiful. But unfortunately, it's also a dead spot. There's no internet. All right, she's just standing down there. I know that's not where she's going to sleep. In fact, there are no sleeping areas there, so she must return this way. So, for those who are patient, and I'm sure you are, otherwise you wouldn't be here in the first place, checking out what is going on. You're watching something that has never been done in the history of the internet. That's right. What, a blurred screen? You might be wondering, watching a wild yellow mongoose, a world famous wild yellow mongoose, not just any mongoose. There she is. Can you see her standing there under the tree? You see that white rock just to the left? Shout out in the comments if you can, please. Just across to the right. I wonder who's going to see it first. Yeah, that little rock less than a meter away is Cenictus peniculata. And that is extremely close already to a mongoose. Even see them up close. mongoose would have seen them long before that and would have run off, and the same goes for wild meerkats. And that's where my work comes in as a research biologist since 1993. Professional nature conservationist. For those who have heard this many times before, it's for the new viewers, just a bit of background. It's what I do. I work with wildlife, and I work with the films, and I educate the world about the beautiful wildlife that we have, especially the highly secretive wildlife most people will never get to see. You may have seen our films, and our main site in the Kalahari Desert, still operational, the home of Meerkat Manor. I set that site up with Professor Tim Clutton-Brock. A shout out to you, Tim, if you're out there watching one day, or even now, you never know. I would love to see some of the presenters I've worked with popping their names off in the comment here. Simon King, yeah, Nigel Marvin, Nick Stringer. Chap chap. Chap chap. Walk with wildlife, animal adventures, everybody. Mongoose magic moment. For those who have watched over the last hour, and for those who joined the stream now, here I am walking with the film star, Wild Mongoose. Mongoose magic moments right here. All right, where's she going? She seems to be going off at quite a pace. Of course, I cannot run after her. That would be a disaster. Even with me calling, I need to make sure she doesn't think I'm chasing her at any stage. There she is. Going back to the Meerkat mansion. A big shout out to Alessia Torchini and Asia Chili. Again, the tick. You'll know what that is, because it's a sound that she started making when she visited here very recently. CEBOKOLODI. Oh, what a delightful shade has been cast over from the Meerkat Mansion research base. Hello everyone who's just joined now. The stream has been going on for 57 minutes. I hope you have a look at it from the start to see what's been going on, because here we are following a world famous yellow mongoose, and the most famous yellow mongoose ever. I followed her since November 2018. She's done a very big circuit. She's gone into a rival mongoose territory, and she's posted lots and lots of SSMSs, smellogram. And here she's using the tubes, for those who joined the stream. These are artificial burrow systems that myself, Alessia Torchini, and Asia Chili have created. You can also come out and create them on the reserve, and you can sponsor them. You'll be acknowledged for that contribution to our project. All right, here we go. Getting back to beautiful. Wow, she has walked hundreds of meters already during the stream. That's great. Having that viewer from Indonesia yesterday, and now on the other side of the planet, California. And here I am in South Africa. It's surreal to be giving you this window right now. Please notice when she stands up how her legs stick outwards in front of her. The meerkat's legs hang down, and the reason for this is because the yellow mongoose has an extra digit. They've got 5 on the front feet, 4 on the back, unlike 4 and 4 with the meerkats, or 5 and 5 with the banded mongooses. So, all right, and she's gone back to another tunnel to check. Now, earlier she went in here, and she did a big circuit, and came out at a completely different area, right through. These are all burrow entrances that she is using, with sleeping chambers. There. Some of our viewers may already know exactly where these different areas are around the reserve, but there's a vast labyrinthine network. Hello out there. You might be wondering what you're seeing if you've just joined the stream now. We've done a complete walkabout with the world famous film star Ghakhulu Cucciolina Cenerentola TSEBOKOLODI, Synictis penicillata yellow mongoose species. And now I see why she has run into one of the tubes. That's an incredibly noisy, learn to use more than one gear truck driver going past one of the roads. Wow, rare noise pollution. That is terrible. Take your noise away. Come on. No wonder the mongoose that I've been filming has run off to go into the burrows. Yeah, it can get frustrating as a wildlife research biologist out there, friends. Anybody who will know what it is like to work with incredibly shy and secretive animals that can be disturbed by something that you have no control over, such as a roadway and a noisy driver. Anyway, moaning over. So, we've had a really good stream already. I'm looking forward to watching this later. But for now, it was interesting to see that she went into that entrance there. There's a sleeping chamber over there, another sleeping chamber over there, lovely and insulated, and an entrance there, there, and there. And earlier, she did a complete circuit and then went hundreds of meters away to explore another part of a territory which is no longer hers. It is a rival mongoose territory. Anyway, everybody, it looks like she's going to go to sleep. But please remember that I've mentioned this on many of my streams. I really appreciate everybody who visits. We have reached over 1.8 million views on our conservation site. 1.2 million of those views were for the Najanivia Cape Cobra, and many of our supporters from India were contributing to that great number that we got in a single day. Well, I'm going to sign off there. I hope you have a really good day. Please remember to like and sub and join the channel. And I will see you next time. All the very best, friends.